I'm sure when
Exactly.
you're on education.
And
So
just on also just because if let's say the alternative is to if they don't qualify anymore for express entry based on the new system, they might have to look at provinces. But then there's provinces like Manitoba where if you're not working if you didn't study in that province, you're essentially going to lose points, and those are quite a lot of points that might make you ineligible for the PMP programs that might otherwise be viable to those that are living in that province, but maybe not, they don't require it because they went through the express entry system. And so it does create a little bit of that rift. But again, this is just, we don't know specifically how it will pan out. We can only just make some educated guess based on just what we've seen in the past with different programs and sort of navigating, especially during COVID, the express entry system and how we saw that it does affect a lot of provinces started to target specific sectors, economic sectors within where they were needing where there was an actual high demand of 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 workers that were required, and so they would just do draws specifically for those knocks, and we could see that just using as an example BCPMP. That was one of the areas where you regularly see early childhood educators. You also see that in Nova Scotia PMPs. That was another area where it was predominantly focused on those areas in the healthcare as well. So yeah, it's just we're very hopeful, we're positive looking, but you always have to be cautious and prepare accordingly, right?
for sure. And just for the listeners that aren't as familiar, can you break down a little bit more how the provincial nomination program works? Because yeah, that's something that I think maybe some people aren't familiar with yet, and maybe just the kind of a high level overview
Yeah.
of what it is and how it differs from the federal process.
Yeah, so essentially, provincial nominee programs are programs that have been provided within a province for those that are either interested in working, residing, and in that province, and who have basically adaptability to that province. So if they have things like, let's say they have a job offer with an employer in that specific province, that might be they might be a viable candidate for that program. So what they would do in essence is they would register with the province and be placed in some cases in a pool of candidates and await selection on a biweekly or semi-monthly draw. And then the next step would be to apply for that nomination, just as and based again, they would be ranked based on their ties to the province, the educational background, their English language proficiency, and in some cases, the age as well is something that might